Throughout its years, the Legend of Zelda games have managed to keep a consistent theme throughout the series, but they're still not afraid to shake things up from game to game, introducing new elements, mechanics, and different tones to keep things fresh. Breath of the Wild is probably the most modern and extreme example of this, completely scrapping the linear traditional blueprint of what most people think of when it comes to the Zelda series. Though Breath of the Wild draws heavily from the original Legend of Zelda on the NES, from its open world concept to its post-apocalyptic-like atmosphere. It's clear that a lot of inspiration for Breath of the Wild comes from its roots, and while exploring a retro Zelda theory, I noticed even more parallels when it comes to the dungeons of the Legend of Zelda and the shrines of Breath of the Wild. But first, I'm doing a giveaway for our subscribers, so if you want a chance to get some cool prizes like this, stick around to the end of the video for more details. And the winner of the first milestone, we've hit over 500 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for subscribing and watching my videos. It really helps out the channel a lot. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe if you like everything Zelda, so you don't miss out on any new Zelda content. Back to the video. So it's pretty commonly known among Zelda fans how much Breath of the Wild is the spiritual successor of Zelda 1. They even made a prototype to test the physics and the style of the NES Zelda. Though dungeons in the traditional sense were missing from Breath of the Wild, I'd argue that the shrines have more in common with the original dungeons of The Legend of Zelda than you think. Shrines in Breath of the Wild are scattered all over the world of Hyrule, and were built by the ancient Sheikah as trials for the future hero, in preparation for Calamity Ganon's return. Most shrines are puzzle-based, but some are tests of strength that vary in difficulty, where Link battles a smaller guardian to complete the shrine and gain a spirit orb. Or, in the DLC The Champion's Ballad, the final trials facing Monk Maz Koshia. And you must succeed before you're deemed worthy of Link's motorcycle, the Master Cycle Zero. The original Zelda didn't really have an in-depth story, but the backstory is the most important part of this theory, believe it or not. In the opening text crawl to The Legend of Zelda, it states that Ganon stole the Triforce of Power, and Zelda, who possessed the Triforce of Wisdom, ended up splitting the pieces up into 8 units to hide them from Ganon before he captured her. So as Link, you must explore Hyrule and find the 8 pieces, confront Ganon, and defeat him to save Zelda. On the surface, it's a very simple concept, but if you think about it, the common perception of how the game and its simple story seems to appear kind of deceiving. Let me explain. To get each piece of Triforce, you must find several hidden labyrinths crawling with enemies and fight a boss that's guarding a piece of the Triforce. I always assumed that the dungeons were littered with Ganon's minions and that he puts his strongest monsters to guard the Triforce, like in any other Zelda game. But hold up a second. Zelda is the one who hid the Triforce pieces, because Ganon was after it, like always. So if his monsters had taken over the dungeons holding all the pieces of the Triforce, he would literally just have the Triforce of Wisdom. So the only logical explanation is that Zelda hid the pieces in some ancient dungeons of Hyrule and placed guardians there herself to protect each piece of the Triforce of Wisdom from Ganon, and only someone with enough courage and strength could retrieve them. Which means the bosses in Zelda 1 are actually good guys. Crazy, right? Almost like they are a test or a trial, kinda like the mini guardians in Breath of the Wild. They're working for Princess Zelda to keep the Triforce safe and could only be defeated by someone with great strength and courage. Though it does seem like Link just murks Zelda's guardians, which, even if they are monsters, technically Link's going through and murdering these guardians of the Triforce, which is kinda dark. It's not the first time Link has killed some questionable targets, so... As for the enemies that you find all through the dungeons, who are all classic minions of Ganon, like Stalfos, Darknuts, and Wizrobes, I have 2 explanations that could work. Either Zelda magics some of the most terrible monsters and are controlling them to help guard the Triforce, or they're Ganon's minions and they're trying to get the Triforce piece for Ganon, but they can't get past the Guardian of the Triforce, or the boss of the dungeon. I prefer the latter. It just makes more sense to me. But either way, just like Breath of the Wild shrines, the dungeon's obstacles and guardians Link must defeat are a trial. And at the very least, the bosses in Zelda 1 are actually good guys, like a Sheikah Shrine Guardian, or Monk Maz. This guy.
I could say Sahasrara just fine.
Which is way more complicated, but I guess he isn't as memorable of a character though.
Whoa, man, calm down. I'm just playing.
Well, anyway, you get the point. So that's my Zelda theory. I know this was a really short one, but this was something interesting that I wasn't sure how to incorporate into a longer theory, and I'm working on a couple other videos that are much more time consuming, and I wanted to announce the winner this week for the giveaway, so I figured I'd make a little mini theory. So let's get into the giveaway stuff and the winner of a copy of Creating a Champion. Congratulations to WolfLord4. You have won yourself a copy of Creating a Champion. So email me at zhyrofantasy@gmail.com so I can get your information and get that prize to you. And thanks everyone so much for checking out the channel and all my videos. It means a lot. I had no idea we could reach 500 subs in the same 24 hours that I announced this. That's awesome. And I'm still giving away a Switch Lite with the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Switch travel case at 1,000 subs. This giveaway is for subscribers, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. How it works is when the channel hits 1,000 subs, random comment will be picked, so make sure you leave a comment on every video so you have a better chance of winning. The details will be in the description. So what do you think of this theory? Do you think the bosses in the original Zelda are guardians of good, like the Shrine Guardians or Monkman? Let me know in the comments. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any new Zelda content like this. See you later.